This week saw 40 years of London Fashion Week, where we saw the very best of British fashion showcased for the world scene.
Yeah, London Fashion Week certainly plays its part with a recent British Fashion Council report confirming the significant contribution of the fashion industry to the UK economy.
Yes, in 2021 it was estimated that £28.9 billion was contributed to the economy through the fashion world, including Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood, Stella McCartney, to name but a few. We have so many great British names in this business.
Yeah, all your favourites, Ellie.
Yeah, literally all my favourites. Well, we're joined now by former head buyer at ASOS, Mo Oshodi, who is looking so glamorous on our sofa this morning. Mo, really good to have you with us.
Thank you.
I mean, we are so lucky in this country, aren't we? You just listen to those names there, the Stella McCartneys of this world, the Alexander McQueens, the Vivienne Westwoods. We're incredible at fashion, aren't we?
We are indeed. Like, we are seen as global leaders, especially when it comes to fashion and fashion education. We have some of the best colleges in the UK. So we have places like RCA, London College of Fashion and Central St Martin's, which some of the designers you just mentioned, Alexander McQueen, Stella McCartney, they all attended Central St Martin's. So we're known for producing really talented designers who go on, start as a new up-and-coming designer and move on to be really commercially successful and also really well respected within the fashion industry.
And actually, I never knew this until this morning, but the fashion industry in the UK contributes something like £62 billion a year, which is an absolutely insane amount of money.
It's not to be sniffed at, is it? And a lot of people do turn their noses up at fashion, don't they?
Yeah, fashion is a huge contributor to our economy. It's also something that makes people really happy. Like, I think when people can express themselves or have a beautiful dress on, or somebody wears a really nice suit, it instills us with confidence. It instills you with confidence. So there's a lot of joy to be found in fashion. But yes, it is a business. It is a huge global business. But the UK is a really big player on that.
And actually, fashion isn't just confined to sort of, the younger generation. I remember a couple of TV shows years back where they'd give makeovers to sort of, how do I say this politely, the sort of elderly people who had forgotten about fashion. And actually, their makeovers, they looked like, they looked brilliant. And their energy lifted and, they just look great.
That's so true.
Yeah, fashion is for everybody. I think sometimes it's tricky because when you're younger, you often go shopping with your friends. You have a lot more influence and stuff on social media that can help you with your choices and understand what your style is. I do think it gets a tiny bit trickier as you get older, and maybe you don't necessarily always have the time to sit on social media and see what the inspiration is. But doesn't mean that you don't want to get dressed and look nice.
But it's so interesting that you say that you go through social media now to get your inspiration, because brands must find that so challenging. It is a changing world, isn't it? Because previously you'd go past a shop window and you get your inspiration from the outfits from there. But we know that our high streets are decimated, really. Lots of shops closing down. And people shop online now.
They do. So at the moment, 39% of fashion sales are actually driven online.
Wow.
So it's a massive industry online, and it's only going to continue growing. And obviously a lot of the brands as well are fully aware of the power of social media. Hence why when you go to a lot of the fashion shows, you will see a lot of social media celebrities and influencers who will wear the brand, who will talk about the brand. It's a really good way to communicate to people without it feeling like it's direct selling. But, the whole landscape has changed, and we don't necessarily always go into a store to shop. People will be shopping at 10 p.m. at night. They'll be shopping on their phones. They'll be shopping at all different times of the day. So
apparently that's that's probably why I've just said it, but that is the most popular time, isn't it, for people to buy their clothes? It's on a phone.
What time?
At about
10 p.m.
It's about 10:30 at night, isn't it? And it's literally people in bed just danger shopping. Just looking at outfits.
I did that with gym gear the other day.
Did you?
And actually, the danger is that also you can get next day delivery, of course, which, isn't a new thing. But back in the day, you'd have to go down the high street, go and park the car, so on and so on. But now you can just lay in bed, as you said, order, and then it's with you by, say, 10 p.m. the next day. Can I ask you a very quick question?
Of course.
You were head buyer at the company. I've been laughed at for the last 2 hours by Ellie and all the backroom team here. Is it ASOS or ASOS?
I say ASOS. ASOS, we used to call it, because it stood for As Seen on Screen. But everyone says it differently. But
it stood for what, sorry?
as seen on screen. So it's original day when we first started.
So you're not with them anymore, no? But
No.
you were head buyer.
I was head buyer with them for nearly 12 and a half years.
Wow.
So head of women's wear, helping to launch their...
You've helped build the
ASOS.
juggernaut that we see today.
Yeah, when I started, there was 3 of us in the buying team. And I
Wow.
think when I left, there was probably around 3,000 people in the company. So
Incredible.